the federal office to prepare the country for pandemics is now down to just one staffer. Congress first established that office in 2022 and it used to have a staff of about 20 people. They had been working on the country's response to the bird flu and other potential outbreaks until mid-January. As for the person who is left in that office, we don't know who they're going to be reporting to. All of the office's pages have also been removed from the White House website.
And this all comes as we mark 5 years since COVID really changed our lives forever. In fact, it was 5 years ago today, Governor Polis ordered schools to close to stop the spread of coronavirus. That initial order was just for 1 month. Of course, we all now know that the disruptions to learning continued for much longer than that, and we are still seeing the impact today. I had a chance to talk with Colorado's Commissioner of Education, Susana Córdova, who was Denver Public Schools superintendent when COVID hit. We talked over Zoom about what she learned from the experience.
Do you remember a time when the discussion of remote learning began?
Sure. Yeah, I just had this photo pop up in my memories, and it's this whiteboard where during this week of March, 5 years ago, we were laying out different options.
5 years ago, then DPS Superintendent Susana Córdova didn't know that any of those options would become the reality for tens of thousands of DPS students and teachers.
There were probably two immediate priorities. The first one was how do we make sure that we're keeping kids fed? So many students in the Denver Public Schools really depend on school for breakfast and lunch. And then the second thing was, how do we make sure that we can get technology to kids? We literally took every device that we had anywhere in the district, in central office, and pushed those out to kids.
Córdova left the district in 2021 and wrote a doctoral dissertation on the impact of COVID on education, focused on three main areas.
Made it significantly harder to recruit and retain teachers. We saw enormous declines in math instruction. And then we saw huge spikes in mental health issues, both for teachers, students and teachers. And when kids came back into school, one of the superintendents that I interviewed for my dissertation talked about, it was almost like they were trying to physically turn off their camera. They would come into school in person with their hoodie on and just close the hoodie like the way you turn off your camera on a Zoom screen, because they were not used to being in person and engaging.
The recovery continues, but we have seen progress. For example, Colorado students have shown improvement in standardized test scores. When Córdova returned to our state as Education Commissioner in 2023, she helped set new priorities.
Disproportionately, our low-income students, Black and brown students, are farther behind. And it really says to us, I think, the importance of regular daily attendance, making sure that school is an engaging place, and that we put in those supports to accelerate when kids are behind.
No one wants to think about the next pandemic, but would you say that anything was learned that would prepare educators better?
I think primarily one of the things that we probably learned from the COVID pandemic is you probably don't need to fully close schools again.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably reassuring to hear for some parents out there. Córdova said that she thinks we've learned more about how to make schools safe with improvements to indoor air quality, for example. She added that there were some silver linings. Schools did improve their technology and connection. Parents, for example, are able to engage more easily now with things like parent-teacher conferences over Zoom. And Córdova told me career and technical education opportunities have really increased since COVID.